I don't know, man, comments are weird on YouTube. Comments are weird on TikTok. I don't know what the heck is going on. I've exited and come back twice now, so hopefully that fixes the issue. I don't know what is happening. It is really weird. I didn't change any of the settings on anything I do, so I'm not sure why they got changed. You know what I'm saying? So we'll give it a few minutes and hopefully people will find me. I don't know why. I have no idea why it's not working right. Hello, Stacy. Algorithms are a problem, right? It's been a challenge all day. You're right. I don't know what the heck. Hey, Abby. Yay, here I am. Now I can actually see the chat. Happy day. Right? Excuse me. Hello. Welcome in. I'm so glad you guys are finding me. I got to tell you guys, it has been a struggle. There we are. Now I can see it. Yeah, I don't know what the heck was happening. I didn't change any of the settings on my stuff, so I'm not sure what in the world was going on, but it seems to be fixed. I can now see the comments. I can see people coming into the room finally. So that's very exciting. Hello from Buenos Aires. Wonderful. Thank you for joining me today. Yay, it worked. Happy day. Welcome to Professor Brown. Everybody. I am very excited about today. The solar plexus is one of the biggest chakras that has the biggest problems. It's a weird tech day. Yeah, there's a lot. Ontario, hello from Ontario. Welcome in. So excited you guys are here. Yes, weather has been crazy as usual. It's like 70 degrees today. And I keep thinking, like when I made my video this morning, I literally almost said it was May because it was so nice outside. I still said the wrong date, but at least I got the month right, you know? So there's bonus, right? Solar plexus is the chakra that is most out of balance when I work with people. When I do readings, when I do energy work, the solar plexus tends to be the most out of balance chakra. I have found this to be, yeah, it was really weird, Meta, like super weird. I don't know what the heck is happening. So with the solar plexus, because the solar plexus houses how you see yourself in the world, it gets out of balance very easy, especially when we are still in the process of learning to trust our own intuition, to listen to ourselves, to lean into what we know is true. You know what I mean? 80 in Springfield. Yeah, I heard that there are storms coming. I definitely heard there are storms coming. I like talking about the solar plexus and I like working with the solar plexus because once you understand the power that is in this little tiny energy center in your body, it is amazing. Yeah, Nana, I don't know what the heck is going on, you guys. Like, I don't know if it's the energy. Like, let me look at the Schumann. I don't know what it is, but I know that something funky is happening. Yeah, we're not getting a big blast of energy right now, so I don't know. It doesn't matter. So the solar plexus, in my experience, is the home of how you see yourself in the world. It has very little to do with how anyone else sees you, other than that the way people seeing you planting doubt in your mind, right? It is very, very important. Hello from Vancouver Island. Well, welcome in, Wendy. I'm so excited you're here. Before we get started with Professor Brown and the solar plexus, I just want to remind everybody that this evening, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, hopefully all the chats work, we will be starting our shadow work journey. Let me show you what the book looks like. This is what the book that we use looks like. It's called the Shadow Work Journal. It is a structured book with different exercises to help us dig down into our shadow. Yes, it very well could be. Probably likely related to that. You know, big flash of energy, like how could it not be, right? The shadow work stuff, the first class is open to everybody. So if you are interested in finding out more about it, please come back at 7 o'clock tonight. It will be open to everyone, and the replay will also be in the videos on YouTube here. After the first class, it will also be simultaneously cast on TikTok. So if you are a subscriber on TikTok or a member on YouTube, you will have access to this. The first class, like I said, is open to everyone. The idea with making it only open to subscribers or members is to keep the class size small and manageable so that I can give you as much attention as you need. The reason I'm doing that is because shadow work is hard. It's really hard. It's uncomfortable. It's squirmy, right? Because the idea behind shadow work is you're learning to look within and take responsibility and get out of victim mode, and that can be very challenging. So I want to make it as safe a space as possible where you can share your experiences, you can talk about what you're going through without feeling judged or anything like that. My channels, all of my channels are about positivity, growth, and moving forward. I do not do negativity, not at all. So we can talk about issues, but we're not going to dwell on the negative. We're learning to recognize, acknowledge, and move forward from them, because dwelling on the past is not going to save you. It's not going to help you, and we're not going to do that. So all of my channels are about positivity, but shadow work is very difficult if you are not feeling particularly stable with where you are in your life right now. If you are suffering from depression, shadow work this is not the time for that. You need to be in a relatively stable place emotionally to do shadow work. The reason being is because it requires you to dig down, dig way down into those pieces of you that you don't like so much, and it can maybe be very emotional. The thing I like about the structured shadow work is that it starts at the top and kind of works its way down. That way we aren't digging into super painful things to begin with. We're kind of working our way there, right? I do have a Facebook group. It is called Shadows and Light. It is a private Facebook group, but if you want to be part of the shadow work stuff, you want to go to that Facebook group and join, because each week I will put the prompts for that week's work up there, and then that's what we will talk about on Monday evenings. But like I said, the first class is going to be about, it's kind of like a Professor Brown, where I'm going to explain what shadow work is, what the purpose is, where it comes from, and who came up with it, all that sort of stuff. We're going to really go into expectations, what I expect from you, what you expect from me. Delta, British Columbia, welcome in, Margita. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm so bad with names, you guys. I'm from the South. Meta can probably attest to this. I'm from the South. I put a lot of syllables in words that probably don't need to be there. So forgive me if I say your name incorrectly. Let me get a sip of my drink. Hold, please. You know, I was trying to sit so you guys could see my tattoos, but I can't arrange this in a way to do that without showing you my nasty, dirty closet. So, you know. Southern Belle, that's me. Raised in Virginia, where everybody says wash and spigot and, you know, stuff like that. Link to Facebook group. Yes. Thank you. My phone's solar plexus was afraid to work, finally got sued, so then I could pull up the podcast. Yeah, well, welcome in, Michael. Yeah, we're having a lot of technical issues today. I gotta tell you, Mike, my TikTok this morning, there were a lot of comments that we couldn't see for some reason. I don't know why. We could see most of them, I hope, but I couldn't see some of them. Particular people that were getting readings, I couldn't see them. And I don't know why. I didn't change anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't change any settings. Just like when I came on here, which flower was the one that was raised up? This one right here, this lotus was raised. It's really hard to see on the camera. It's still a little bit raised right here, but this was all puffed up. Everything else was totally fine, just this flower. So if you saw that video, that's exactly what it is. Yes. I lost my train of thought. So please know that there are moderators in the room, Nana Babies and Creations and Meta Sanchez and Mike. These are all people who are here to support me in this. If you have any questions, you can tag them, you can ask them questions. I write these lessons myself. I do pull from multiple resources. The biggest one I pull from is lonerwolf.com. I have found them to be extremely helpful and just enlightening in general. And they are the authors of the book. Oh, thank you. Texan, Meta's in Texas too. They are the authors of this book. I have reached out to them. I've gotten their permission to use this book to do these classes. You don't have to buy the book. I would encourage you to do so if you want to be part of the shadow work, mainly because it helps you keep track of what you're doing, and it's invaluable. It's an invaluable resource to be able to go back and look at how much you've grown over time. You can get it on their website, lonerwolf.com. You just go to Shadow Work Journal, you can purchase it. It's an electronic journal and it comes with a password so no one can read what you're writing. That way you can be totally honest about everything that you're going through, right? So that's tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, both here on YouTube and on my TikTok channel. The Facebook group is called Shadows in Light. It is a private Facebook group, but if you would like to join in the shadow work, that's where you want to go because it will give you all the prompts. The first shadow work class, like I said, is open to everybody. After that, it will be open to members and subscribers, mainly to keep the group size small. Hello, Victory. Welcome in. So today on Professor Brown Breaks It Down. Oh, nice. You're moving to Texas soon, Mike? Very nice. Very nice. On Professor Brown Breaks It Down today, we are going to be talking about the solar plexus. And like I was saying earlier, the solar plexus really is the area that I find the most people have issues with. It is the most out of balance for the majority of people I work with. This, I feel very strongly, is related to the idea that the solar plexus houses how we see ourselves in the world. And we are so inundated with, opinions and comments from other people that solar plexus tends to get rocked a lot. But the other thing about the solar plexus is it really houses your creative home. It's where all your creative ideas and creative aspects come from here. So we want to keep it as balanced as possible, and there's ways that we can do that. So when I start the lesson, I want you guys to know I do write all of these lessons. I'm getting them together and putting them in a book, which hopefully will be done by the end of the year. Sorry, let me turn off my phone so I don't keep getting distracted. Sorry. The main resource I draw from is lonerwolf.com, the people who wrote the book, and from Ram Dass, who I consider to be my first teacher. So I will always give you those references, always. But when I am reading the lesson, I cannot look up at comments and then read because I will lose track of what I'm saying. So if you have a question, if you have anything you want to ask, we will get to all of those questions. I promise you. I'm happy to answer your questions at the end. So write them down so you don't forget them. Tag my mods or something so that you can not forget, right? We don't want anybody to forget anything. Again, this is a respectful room. Please keep everything respectful. Yes, no, the replay will be on my channel, on my YouTube channel under lives. You'll be able to see that replay. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. I know it's late in Europe and in Ireland and all those places. So I tried to make it at a time that was as convenient as possible for as most people as possible. But with time differences and all the wonky stuff, it's hard to do that. So I can appreciate that. They will be this particular one will be on the replay under the lives whenever it gets going. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Jocelyn. I appreciate that. All right. Atlanta. Hello from Atlanta, Terry. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about the solar plexus. I'm going to go ahead and start with my lesson. Please remember, I am not, thank you. I am not ignoring your comments, I promise, but I get distracted really easily. So I'm going to just go through the lesson first, and then we will answer all of your questions. I do 100% want to answer your questions. The reason I do it in this format is so we can also put them to the collective, because if I don't have the answer, I'm the first person to admit I don't, right? So I will absolutely put it to the collective, and we will work to find the answer together, okay? All right, you guys, so let's get started. Excuse me. All right, so the solar plexus chakra, the third chakra, is also known as Manipura. I'm going to say that wrong, I know. It's Manipura, Manipura in Sanskrit, and means city of jewels, referring to the abundance of energy and potential that resides within this chakra. It is located in the upper abdomen and is associated with personal power, confidence, self-esteem, and creativity. The solar plexus chakra is also associated with the color yellow and the element of fire. I love this. This chakra is responsible for regulating the energy associated with action, intention, identity, and vitality. I often refer to this particular chakra as the seat of the self because this is where the emotions and energy around how you view yourself are stored. Again, has very little to do with how other people see you, but when you're getting opinions and stuff from people all the time, it tends to knock that solar plexus right out of balance. So you want to be mindful of that other people's opinions can do that to you, okay? So the first thing we want to talk about is what is a balanced solar plexus? What does that look like, right? So when your solar plexus chakra is clear, strong, and harmonious, you will feel confident in yourself, right? Although you may still have moments of self-doubt, it will not be your default state. That's important to note it. Everybody has moments of self-doubt. Me, everybody, Taylor Swift, everybody has moments of self-doubt. But when your solar plexus is balanced, you don't live there. You don't live in the doubt. You can acknowledge and release it, or do your best to acknowledge and release it without getting trapped in that feeling, okay? Aggressive egotism will also be removed from your life. This is the idea of I know best, no one's opinion matters, I'm the authority, blah, 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 not taking any advice from anybody. This also will not happen when you're in the solar plexus because you're confident in who you are. So when someone offers you feedback, you don't get so prickly about it because you can see it as feedback and not as criticism, right? You will also understand and accept that you have the power of choice, which shapes your universe based on what you focus on. I cannot stress this enough to you guys. Law of attraction is real. It's so, so real. And it's very, very powerful and very, very important. Where you put your focus is where you will manifest, okay? So if you are constantly thinking about all the things that could possibly go wrong, then you will constantly be shown reflections of all the things that could go wrong, right? So you want to be very mindful of that. The solar plexus is crucial in helping you share your world because you no longer seek validation or confirmation from others, but rather you look inward to find that. For example, when I first started readings, I was asking a lot of, does this resonate? Is this right? Do you understand? And all that was doing was serving to invalidate what I already thought was true. So for me, as my solar plexus started to get more in balance, what happened was I stopped asking for validation because I know it's true. I know it's true. And even if the person I'm reading for can't pinpoint how it's helping them or whatever, I know it's true. So I stopped asking for validation. And usually what happened, I will tell you, my readings are fairly accurate. Of course, they're not 100% accurate. They can't be, but they are fairly accurate. And even people who tell me during their reading, and this happens at least once or twice a week, someone will reach out to me in the reading. They'll say, oh, I don't know about this piece or whatever. But I usually get a text later that says, oh my gosh, I totally understand what you were saying. It makes so much sense, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you have to let space happen because if you're expecting something and I say something else, your expectation can block you from hearing what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Yes, lower abdomen area is the solar plexus, okay? By achieving a balanced energy center, you can build self-confidence and set healthy boundaries in your daily life. You no longer have to play different roles or change yourself to please others, okay? And you can assert yourself while showing respect for everyone. This is mindful boundaries. This is the no thank you. No, I can't do that for you anymore. You need to learn how to tie your own shoes, okay? That sort of thing, right? This balance promotes positive changes, allowing you to break free from lethargic and addictive patterns and pursue your goals with zeal, with excitement. Ultimately, you will feel more energized, more focused, empowered, and aligned with your life when your solar plexus is in balance. Now, I want to reiterate that I always suggest that people start working on their energy from the bottom up, because if you start from the top down, if you have blockages here, here, and here, and you try to open this, there's nowhere for the energy to go. This can cause something called spiritual psychosis, which I will get to in some episode down the road. So you want to be careful that you're starting at the root and working your way up. Solar plexus would be the third chakra in the abdomen, just below the belly button, okay? So what does an out of balance solar plexus look like? That's a great question. There are various factors in life that can hinder the functioning of your solar plexus chakra, including habits, mindsets, and traumatic experiences. A strict upbringing, bullying, authoritative figures in your life, mental, emotional, sexual, or physical abuse, or being brought up with disempowering ideologies such as strict religious, traditional, or social beliefs can all contribute to a blocked or stagnant solar plexus chakra. It's important to remember that this chakra relates to how you perceive yourself, and experiences that take away your sense of personal power or empowerment can impact it negatively. Okay? Sorry, I got distracted. So here are some signs to look out for, but just remember, not everyone will have the same experience, and what you are feeling that makes you out of balance may not even be on this list. It's also possible that you will feel like you have everything on the list, right? Will also feel like you have everything on the list. Sorry. All right, so here's the very basic list, right? The very basic list. You're constantly feel fatigued and lazy, that feeling of no motivation, that feeling of not wanting to get off the couch. A lot of times that has to do with your solar plexus being out of balance. You have a problem with overeating and overindulgence. A lot of times people overeat to fill a hole that they carry, or a need that they feel like they have, right? You tend to manipulate others to get what you want, or you frequently feel powerless and weak. Both of those have to do with solar plexus. When people are manipulating someone else, it tends to come from a place of powerlessness. They feel like they have no control over their life, and so they will try to manipulate someone else's life, okay? You tend to be a bully or overly domineering around others, or you feel insecure and unassertive. You lack self-confidence in most areas of life. Again, I want to point out, it is very normal for people to have issues with self-confidence. Every person on this planet goes through this at some point. And even those people who you think are the most confident people in the world, I promise you, they struggle with self-confidence in some area, because not everyone can be everything all the time. You tend to seek approval from other people. For example, being a people pleaser, right? I'm the president of People Pleasers Anonymous right here. Grew up in a household with an abusive father who really made me feel like I had to do everything exactly as he said. So I was constantly people pleasing. That's a hard pattern to break out of. It really is, and it takes a lot of work. If you have very low self-esteem, or you have an excessively inflated self-esteem, like a giant ego, we all know that person who thinks they are just their gift to everybody, right? They think that they are here to be the gift to the universe. We're all here to be gifts to the universe. No one here is any more special than anybody else. But a lot of times when someone is dealing with very low self-esteem, they will project that way. I'm so important, because they have to, it's almost like an out of control affirmation, right? If I make other people believe it, then I'll feel it at some point, that sort of feeling, okay? Your body temperature is usually very cold or very hot, right? So people whose solar plexus are overactive tend to run hot. People whose solar plexus is very underactive tend to run very cold. I don't know physiologically how that works. I just know that tends to be the pattern, okay? You have addictive tendencies. You struggle to set boundaries around other people. You tend to form codependent relationship with other people. You suffer from a digestive system disorder such as IBS, ulcers, hypoglycemia, diabetes, etc. Or you have excessive weight around the stomach, like a pot belly. Okay, so pot bellies can also come from beer and bad food, right? But when you think about it, why are you indulging in these things that you know are bad for you? Is it because you're trying to fill a hole that you have in that space, right? I'm not talking about an occasional beer. I'm talking about somebody who drinks beer all day long and eats McDonald's every day. Like, you know it's not good for you, yet you're doing it anyway. That tends to come from trying to fill a hole somewhere, okay? So again, I want to say this is not an exhaustive list. I know plenty of people who I read this list and they're like, well, I have all of those. Well, yeah. Congratulations. Most of us do. Or I do have some people who say, oh, I don't have any of that. And I'm looking at their energy going, okay, so that seems like that's a big inflated ego right there. The refusal to admit that you have an issue can be part of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's hard to lie to someone who's intuitive. It's hard to lie to someone. I'm so in tune with energy. I can feel energetic changes as soon as they enter the room. And if you tell me you don't have any of these things and I look at your energy and I can feel that your solar plexus is all kind of wobbly, then I'm not going to believe you, friend. But I want to look more deeper as to why maybe you think that. You know what I'm saying? So then the question becomes, now that we have talked about what does it feel like to have an out of balance solar plexus, well, how can I balance that? How do I fix that? You know, it can be very overwhelming to think, oh my gosh, how do I fix this? What do I do? What do I do? First of all, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're all here with you. We're all going to do it together. Everybody goes through this. You don't have to feel like you have to do anything right now. Small steps is the key, okay? It's crucial to keep in mind that the solar plexus chakra is interconnected with all the other chakras. Therefore, it's best to take a comprehensive approach to balance all the chakras. An imbalanced root chakra can result in a lack of stability and grounding, which can ultimately affect your solar plexus. So it's essential to address any imbalances in the chakras to achieve optimal health and well-being. That's why I always suggest starting with the root chakra and working your way up through them. So as you balance them, it gets easier. Doesn't get easier, but you're not trying to fix a chakra where the two around it are out of balance. That's not going to work. If you're looking to align your solar plexus chakra, there are various methods recommended by spiritual teachers in Hindu and Ayurvedic medicine. Yoga poses like boat pose, which is freaking hard to do, warrior 3, and sun salutations can help stimulate this chakra. Additionally, including yellow-colored foods such as bananas, corns, and lemons in your diet can also be beneficial. To help balance your solar plexus chakra and improve your energetic circulation system, here are some specific actions you can take, okay? I'm sorry, I gotta answer this quick text. Give me 1 second. My husband's at the grocery store and he's trying to buy something, so I apologize, but I need to tell him. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to answer that. Okay, so how can you, what are some specific ways that you can work to balance your solar plexus, right? Number 1 is break out of your routine and take a risk. Complacency comes from routine. You get into this, you know, when I do readings for people, it's like you get into this track of going from home to work, from home to work, from home to work. And over time, you start to get this tunnel vision and you become complacent. Sometimes, just breaking out of that can make a big difference. It really can. So sticking to monotonous and uninspiring routines can make us feel powerless. Like, how do I change it if it's always the same? To break this cycle, it's essential to try something new and step outside of your comfort zone. Even small changes like trying a new shopping center on your Saturday trip or taking a different way to work can infuse you with energy and vitality. Don't underestimate the power of a small change to give you renewed motivation and energy. I think that part of the problem is people feel like they have to fix everything all at once, and that can be very overwhelming, and it puts us in this state of I don't want to do anything, right? You don't have to do that. It's one small step at a time. Just like they say on like the moon, right? One small step for man, one small step at a time is what's going to lead you forward, okay? The next thing you can do is you can cut ties with critical and negative people. I know that's not always easy to do, but sometimes it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? If you got that friend that every time you're around them, all they're doing is telling you terrible things and negative things and talking about all the horrible things in the world and just boom, 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 pushing everything down, that's tricky. But you don't have to always be around them. And I'm not saying you have to cut them out completely, but you can put a mindful boundary there. If you find it difficult to completely end relationships with individuals who belittle and criticize you, it is advisable to maintain a safe distance from them. At this point in your life, it is important to surround yourself with supportive individuals who will motivate you to develop and not unsupportive ones who will hinder your progress. I cannot overstate that. Okay? Keep in mind that you have the power to make decisions regarding who stays and who leaves your life. If someone frequently undermines, undervalues, or speaks ill of you, it is necessary to take measures to eliminate them from your life. And I want to say something about gossip. If you have a friend or someone that comes to you with all the gossip, I promise you they're gossiping about you, because it's never just one-sided. People who do a lot of gossiping do it from a place of wanting to surprise and shock people, from wanting the attention of having the great latest news, that sort of thing. And it doesn't give the person they're gossiping about the opportunity to defend themselves. And I promise you, if you have someone who's constantly coming to you with gossip, they are gossiping about you to someone else also. It can be very tempting to get these little nuggets of information about people, but please remember, you are seeing them through the lens of that other person, and that's not fair to the person that's being gossiped about. So be mindful of gossip, okay? The next thing you can do is explore the biggest sources of resistance in your life. Have you ever wondered what you're constantly battling against? What's the next thing that scares you the most? Are there any reoccurring issues in your life? Once you find the answers to these questions, you'll discover the main cause of your energy loss. The next step is to learn how to preserve your energy and stop resisting. Ask yourself what you need to understand, love, or let go to free up your energy. People with blocked solar plexus chakras often waste a lot of energy fighting, avoiding, or suppressing something. And it's usually something to do with a limitation that you are giving yourself or that someone else is giving you. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel like I have enough. I feel like I'm broke, like all these things, right? So be mindful of that, all right? You can also eat more of certain foods. To improve digestion, it's recommended to incorporate whole grains like rice, oats, and rye into your diet. You can also try adding more legumes like lentils, chickpeas, and beans. For added flavor and warmth, consider including spices like turmeric, ginger, cumin, and cinnamon in your meals. Remember, in Ayurvedic medicine, the solar plexus is part of the fire, so you want to feed fire to fire. You want to stoke that fire, right? Additionally, incorporating yellow fruits and vegetables like lemons, bananas, corn, pineapple, and yellow capsicums, which I'm not even sure what that is, but it was suggested, so I included it, can be beneficial for overall health and help rebalance that chakra. And I get people a lot who say, oh, just eating yellow food, there's no way that that can balance your chakra. And you're right, that alone will not balance your chakra, but by putting that into your body, you are drawing attention to the yellow, and that is connected to the solar plexus. So it's kind of all works together. You can also get out in the sun more. I mean, how many of us spend all day in a room on a computer and don't go outside, right? So the solar plexus chakra relates to the fire element, and the sun is a potent source of healing energy. Vitamin D deficiency may lead to anxiety and depression, so it's crucial to get plenty of sunshine. A morning walk or an afternoon tea break in the sun can be a beneficial practice for your solar plexus, and it can give you the opportunity to meditate, to find space in your day, and you don't even have to like sit down with the intention of, I'm going to sit and drink this and meditate. Just sit and be with your coffee. Just be present. Just be present, okay? The next one is stop seeing yourself as a victim. You're not a victim. Why are you giving your power away like that? I'm going to encourage you to stop doing that. If you have a blocked solar plexus chakra, you may believe that you are powerless and defenseless against the challenges of life. This mindset can make you blame others for your unhappiness and sacrifice your own needs for those who don't appreciate your efforts. This is known as martyr syndrome and requires a lot of energy to maintain. By playing the victim, you avoid taking responsibility for your own life. If you feel victimized by someone or something, try practicing saying no, which is a complete sentence, by the way, and taking back your power. It may be scary at first, but it takes courage to overcome this mindset. Listen, how you were raised was not up to you. I do believe that most parents do the best they can with what they have. I also believe that especially Generation X and the one and Y, all these, not necessarily Z, not so much A, the new generations, but my age and older, our parents tended to be stuck in a very hustle mentality. They went through wars, they went through depressions, they went through famines, they did all this thing, and so they're in survival mode. So they raise us in survival mode. The way you were raised is not necessarily your issue, but the way you adult is 100% squarely sitting on your shoulders. It is up to you to decide that you don't want to be a victim anymore and take control of your life. And I promise you, it is one of the most empowering things you can give yourself by stop blaming other people for what happened to you. No one can make you feel anything. Nobody can. You have a choice in every moment on how you're going to react and feel about anything, okay? Meditate with the following crystals. Consider using crystals as energetic totems to help harmonize your energy. You can try meditating or carrying crystals like amber, topaz, citrine, tiger's eye, and yellow calcite. Personally, I found amber to be my favorite crystal, and you can purchase it from any reputable seller. You guys know what amber looks like. Be mindful that you're getting a true crystal. Crystals are gifts to us from the earth. They are very vibrationally strong. They carry different types of frequencies and vibrations that are attuned to different things. So yellow crystals tend to correspond with the solar plexus. The next thing you can do is learn to breathe and take a step back. If you're struggling to assert yourself over others, or at least stand in your power, try concentrating on your breathing. Taking deep breaths and stepping back can aid you in thinking clearly about the situation and the individual at hand. Furthermore, focusing on your breath allows you to be compassionate toward yourself and understand that any yearning for self-importance is essentially a plea for affection and recognition. This is the idea of practicing the pause, right? When you have someone coming at you and they're just spewing junk all over you, instead of letting yourself be reactive to them, give yourself permission to just take a minute, refocus, and then respond. My favorite line from a movie ever was Channing Tatum said it. He said, when you respond to someone or when you react to someone, you become the villain in their story because you are reacting. You are lashing out at them based on what they're saying. You become their villain. When you choose to respond to how someone is treating you, you stay the hero in your own story. The choice is yours. You can do either one. But there's more feeling of satisfaction and personal power in learning to respond rather than to react to people. So I'm going to encourage you to always practice your pause, especially at work and especially with people that tend to make you super extra spicy. You know what I mean? Like if you got a 17-year-old son like I do that just refuses to clean his bathroom no matter what you do, before you blow chunks of angry mess all over him, you want to take the time to just take a breath and respond. I would appreciate it if you could clean your bathroom instead of, I need you to clean your bathroom. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a very different dynamic, okay? You can also cleanse the solar plexus with essential oils. Consider utilizing essential oils like black pepper, cinnamon, rosemary, cypress, clove, and sandalwood for aromatic purposes. You have the option of adding them to an oil diffuser, applying a diluted form to your wrist. I actually put a little bit on my solar plexus sometimes, or wearing them in a diffusing pendant. Remember, the solar plexus is of the fire element, so spice is what would feed that area. So keep that up, okay? Yes, asking versus demanding goes a long way. Yes, he's 100% right. As always, it is helpful to incorporate some kind of breath work and meditation when working on any of your chakras or your energy system in general. In my own personal experience, there is no greater tool for you to utilize than meditation because it really helps you to focus on what you need rather than what someone else is trying to tell you you need. To work to clear blockages and help restore balance, it can help to focus on your breath. This can be done by allowing yourself to feel specific in and out movement of your chest, or by focusing on the feeling of the breath moving in and out of your nose. Like when I was first learning to meditate, I would concentrate on the little tickle of air you get right at the tip of your nose when you breathe out, and I would allow myself, in, out, in, out. Sometimes saying those things is what helps keep you present, because in meditation your mind's going to wander. It just is. That's part of being human. But as you concentrate on your breathing or the feeling of the air moving around, it keeps you present. So that's something you want to work towards, okay? Let's see. This helps to release some of the density you may be holding in the space while helping to circulate the energy itself among the rest of your system. Another useful technique is to use affirmations like I am confident and powerful and I trust my intuition to reprogram any negative thought patterns associated with an imbalanced solar plexus chakra. I want to put a little caveat there. I really feel like affirmations can be very beneficial. They really can, but they will not work if you don't believe them. You can't lie yourself into believing something, right? So if you're telling yourself, I trust my intuition, but in your mind you're thinking, no, I don't, that's not the affirmation for you. Pick a different one or do something else. You do not want to lie about anything. You don't want to pull your energy in different directions. You want to allow yourself to really believe what you're saying. So yes, use affirmations as long as you believe what you're saying, right? You don't want to lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can't. And all it does is split your energy. So if you can't say truthfully, I'm trust my intuition, you can try saying, I am actively learning to trust my intuition. That is an affirmation you can get behind. I don't like the word try because it implies failure. So you can say, I am actively working towards, and that's a different way of stating that. And that can change everything. The way you guys, you hear everything you say to yourself. Your body hears everything you say. And we are like 70% water. Water holds memory, holds shape of sound and vibration. So be mindful of what you are saying to yourself as it radiates through your body, okay? The solar plexus plays a crucial role in our energetic system, affecting our personal power, confidence, and self-esteem. To enhance this chakra, we can practice yoga, consume yellow foods, perform breathwork and meditation, and affirm positive beliefs. By doing so, we can restore balance to our entire energy system. That's all the lesson I have, but I will tell you one of the other things that I have found to be extremely helpful in learning to balance your solar plexus is to indulge in your creative aspects, right? Your solar plexus is also home to a lot of creativity. So if you can dig into that, I'm looking at it like I can see it. If you can dig into those creative things and get out of your head, like I tell people, I'll say, well, what do you like to do? Well, I always wanted to paint. So I'll say, well, why don't you paint? And they say, well, I can't. Well, I beg to differ. You can absolutely paint. Or what's holding you back? Is it because you're not going to create a Rembrandt, or you think you're not going to create a Rembrandt and you're worried about someone else looking at your painting and saying you're a terrible painter? That's not the purpose of doing it. The purpose of doing it is creative expression, right? So diving into these creative aspects of you, you want to allow that to happen, okay? You don't want to tie it down with, I can't paint because I don't know how to make a beautiful landscape, or I can't write a poem because it doesn't rhyme, or I can't sing because my voice is terrible. You can absolutely do any of these things. Your attachment to how other people perceive you is part of the problem. You got to let go of what you're holding back on. I paint a lot. I don't paint masterpieces. I don't paint, stuff that would hang in a wall somewhere. But it is a creative expression. If I'm having a tough day, I will get all my paints out and get it out on the canvas. And I may never not even keep it. I might throw it away. But you know what? I got it out of the space. I pulled a loner wolf card for this lesson. I choose to let go of the war I'm waging it against myself. That is perfect. That is perfect, right? All right. So that is the main lesson. That is the main lesson. Hi, Chrissy. Welcome in. So what kind of questions do you guys have? What can we talk about? How can I help you with your solar plexus issue? What questions do you have? Bring them out. Let's talk about it. Bring out your questions. The solar plexus The solar plexus is important. It's very important. Find your higher self, your divine self, aka spirit, soul, and consciousness. Yeah. People ask me, well, how do I do that? How do I find this? How do I find my creative aspects? What are you drawn to? That's the only question I'm going to ask you is, what are you drawn to? It's not about what are you good at. It's what are you drawn to? Okay. So you got to get out of your head about that. I'm, like I said, I love to paint, and I'm not painting masterpieces, but I still like to paint as an expressive form, right? A way to express myself and the energy in my system. Excuse me. Dancing can be a big part of it. So will shadow work help in clearing the solar plexus? It can. It absolutely can. It depends. If you have a lot of programming in there, like the feeling of I need to achieve to receive some kind of love, the people pleaser, that can be worked on in shadow work. There's a lot of programming that's worked on in shadow work, but it's not the only way to do it. I don't want to mislead anybody and think you have to do that, because it's not the only way to do it. Yeah. So, Brooke, congratulations on finding your first authentic relationship. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You all have the power within you to do this. Every one of us. We all have every bit of power that we need. We give our power away to people when we allow them to tell us that we are less. You give your power to somebody when you do that. When someone says, I need you to do this for me, and you say, okay, even though you don't want to, what are you doing? You're giving your power away, and you're going to tell someone, well, they made me do it. No, you chose to do it. And I know there are obligations out there, but there are ways to do that in a mindful way. You know what I'm saying? My solar plexus has been a problem for me always. Is there any best thing to start with? So I would say start with your root. As counterintuitive as that sounds, a lot of time I always suggest for people to start with their root and work their way up. The root is a big chakra, and it carries a lot of weight. It carries a lot of childhood programming, a lot of thinking, feelings of lack, and that sort of thing. As you work on that root, it will help to balance out all the other chakras. I always suggest you start at the bottom and work your way up. You don't want to start in the middle, because if the chakras on either side aren't open, then you're going to have a struggle here. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you are no longer narcissist food. I love the way you put that. I love the way you put that. Working my way out of a 21-year narcissistic religion, being a people pleaser for so long, got my work cut out for me. You do have this, Jennifer. You do. So I want to point out that the first thing is getting out of that relationship, stepping outside of what is giving you that feeling. When you are blocked in force versus being in the flow, your chakras will trap and build energies at different points. Learn to go with the flow. Yes, that's a big piece. Control is an illusion. It really is. The more you try to control something, the more out of control it will feel. You can make a mindful plan for something. Like I give the example of planning a vacation, right? Like I just got back from Mexico literally yesterday. We planned our vacation. We bought our tickets, our airfare, we booked our hotel, and then we didn't plan anything else. Because when you over plan things, when you have things planned every step of the way, if one thing goes wrong, it's like a domino effect, and it gets more and more out of control. So make a mindful plan. I'm going to do this then, and this then, and this then, and that's what you're going to do, right? You don't want to over plan anything. Nana, where are you? Nana, can you say something so I can see if I can fix this and make you able to do more moderation? And Mika, if you're in here, also comment, okay? Yes, thank you, Meta. There you are, Mika. Hold on one second. All right. All right, Mika, I got you on there. And where's Nana? There you are. Hold on. Let me add you here. I'm still figuring out how to work this YouTube thing. So yes, I have some of the best mods in the business, you guys. I call them my triple M throwdown, and now we have Mike. So we have 4 M's, you guys. 4. We got Nana. We got Mika. So Mandy, Mika, Meta, and Mike. My 4 M's. I'm going to keep the M's up, right? So these, I must have a thing for the letter M. I don't know. Yes, I do have some of the best moderators, and I'm so glad that I was able to bring this lesson to you. I'm still here for questions. What other questions do you have? Let's get them out on the table. What do you want to know? And it doesn't have to be just about the solar plexus. If it's a question I can answer for you, I will do my best. You're an N. Oh, okay. Maurice? Be the example. Yes, be the example. It rained and they freaked out and they had a bad time. My family is the opposite. It snowed in Orlando Disney and we had a ball. Yeah, everything is what you make it. Everything is what you make it. You have the option of how you choose to respond or react to any situation. No one No one can make you feel anything other than like physical pain. If they punch you, yeah, that hurts, but that's physical pain. No one can make you feel sad. No one can make you feel bad. You allow yourself to be that. And I know people don't like it when I say that, but you aren't powerless. The idea that someone can make you feel something is totally giving your power away. Totally giving your power away. Why would you ever do that? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take your power back, friend. It's yours. Why give it away? Add some face tattoos? I don't know. I don't necessarily want faces on my arm. Do I feel that something is coming? Everyone is feeling. Yeah, so I got to tell you, Brooke, I have been saying that since my awakening. I will tell you just briefly. My very first vision that I ever had during my awakening experience, which freaked me out, I saw the earth. It like came into the space and I saw the earth divide like a cell like this. And then there was a lot of disruption and it terrified me. It scared me to death. This building feeling of something coming is definitely in the space. I am right with all the other creators when I say this. We all feel it. We all feel it. I don't know what it is. I do feel like it will be beneficial in the long run, but I think the disruption in between is going to be difficult. But in order for anything to change and grow, we have to let go of the old way of doing things. And that's kind of what I feel like. I am not someone to fearmonger. I don't think it's anything to be afraid of. But I do believe it's like getting fired from a job. You didn't expect it, but sometimes it works out for the best. That's the kind of feeling that I have with that. You know what I mean? Yes. All right, Jennifer, this is a great question. When clearing and realigning chakras, is physical purging symptoms possible? Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. Physical symptoms are always there. I call them the purges. When you got that lower GI stuff going on, it depends on where you're purging from. If you're purging from your root, you can get physical symptoms like sore feet, sore legs, sore knees, that sort of thing. The rooted feeling, the feeling of not being able to move, all that sort of stuff. That's something. The sacral chakra, it can be things like for women having irregular periods, or for men, it can be lower GI problems. Solar plexus, it can be stomach problems. You want to think about where it is physically in your body. That tends to give you the physical symptoms. Heartburn in the heart space, it can be heartburn, it can be GERD, it can be that feeling of palpitation, of pressure on the chest. A lot of that can come from the heart, in the throat. It's scratchy throat, spicy words, all that sort of things. Each chakra can always has a physical connection. So yes, that is 100% possible. Yes, I love that, Mika. Fear is indeed false evidence appearing real, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of purging going around. A lot of purging going around. Last time I felt this was in 2012 and nothing at least outwardly happened then. Yeah, but look at what's happened since then. Right? Our world is very different than it was in 2012, I would say. Is eye twitching an ascension symptom? So eye twitching can be an ascension symptom. It tends to be, I have found when people have eye problems, it's the idea that you're not seeing something right in front of you. A lot of times it comes with the idea of someone in a relationship not revealing the truth to you all the way, that sort of thing. Yes, we are all here to learn and grow. When you are purging and clearing, make sure you are grounding with the Mother Earth and getting sunshine to burn the negative energy out of your chakra chain. Absolutely, Michael's 100% correct. Grounding is intensely helpful. In Mexico, I sleep on a grounding sheet. I did not have it in Mexico. I felt very ungrounded. I felt very untethered. I don't know how else to explain it. The first night I was back, I slept on my grounding sheet, and holy cow, I went down like a rock, and it pulled so much down. So I absolutely suggest it. Am I a psychologist? I'm not a psychologist. I do have a psychology degree. I don't practice psychology. I was a nurse for 25 years and I taught medicine for 5 years. I am not a psychologist, but my undergraduate degree is in psychology. I'm not here to give you medical advice. I'm here to give you metaphysical advice. Solar plexus is related to a lot of emotional work, and shadow work was created by Carl Jung, and he's someone who was a psychologist, so I tend to follow his teachings. Yeah, grounding sheet, Kimberly, you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, Yes, it absolutely. Meditation and grounding will also help your ascension symptoms 100%. Yes, I was out of my area in Mexico 100%. I will tell you though, being in the ocean was grounding to a point. The water was so cold, I couldn't get in it very long. If I could have been in it more, I would. If I could have been in the ocean more, I would have. You know what I mean? But it was so cold, I couldn't get it. I mean, what my husband thought it wasn't cold. I thought it was freezing. I get cold very easy, so, you know. My lotus tattoo, it's doing better. So here's the lotus tattoo from the video, you guys. I know it's hard to see it. It was inflamed all the way around. None of the other ones were messed up, but this one was inflamed. It's much better. So I must have addressed it or taken care of it. What is Meta? How did you say? Sorry, I'm not a native speaker. Meta is the name of one of my moderators. That's her name. Yeah. So don't worry. That's just her name. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I have all color on this side, and this is all representative of my physical life. This is for my son who has autism. This is for my marriage. I've been married for almost 27 years. This is for my marriage. My daughter's name is Robin. That's for her. This represents my journey. This was my first baby. His name was Elwood. And when my mom was a single mom, she used to sing the song Dog and Butterfly to me. So instead of getting mom on my arm, I got a dog and a butterfly. And then all these flowers are native to my home state. On this side, I'm going to get black and white of all my spiritual stuff. So I'm going to do the yin yang, and I'm really excited about it at some point. Yes, the human body is absolutely all part of Mother Earth also. We all come from that. Where did I get the Elvis poster? So this is my daughter's old bedroom. She went to college, moved out, and I made it my office. So it was hers. I don't know where she got it, to be honest with you. Probably Amazon. Something about hormonal belly fat. That's hard. Hey, Kimberly, thank you so much. Hormonal belly fat is hard, you know, because hormones wreak havoc on our body. As someone who had a radical hysterectomy years ago and went through instant menopause like that, dang, I can tell you it sucks. With hormonal belly fat, I don't think it needs to be all spiritual. I think there has to be a balance found in your hormones, but you can do that naturally. Natural yam cream, look into that. Do your research and make sure it's safe for you to take it. But I have found it to be very beneficial in helping to regulate hot flashes and hormones. It is a natural occurring thing in the earth. I'm a big believer in using natural medicines. Yam cream can be very, very helpful for that, okay? As you get the symptoms under control, because believe me, symptoms can sometimes make it feel impossible to do the actual work. Like if you are experiencing depression, it can be very hard to see outside of the symptoms of depression to do the work. That's why I do believe in taking medicine to help you deal with your symptoms. I do not believe that medicine should be the end of the line. It helps you deal with your symptoms. That way you can dig down and do the work with the goal of getting off the medication. You see what I'm saying? Yes, yam cream, wild yam cream, okay? Oh, nice. So Terry says that they do 1,600 vibrational sessions. So vibrations can be helped with, hormones can be helped with vibrations. I do believe that. Right. I'm not the one to give you advice on that, friend, about having the baby with someone you don't love. This is not the time or the place, and I am not the one to give you advice on that. I don't do love readings. I have to tell you, I would say be honest is the biggest thing I can tell you. Greetings. Hello from Russia. Welcome, friend. Welcome in. So glad to have you. Medicines are a tool. Yes. Medicines are a tool. They are not a cure. Medicines are a tool. They are not a cure. 100%. As someone who was in the medical field for 30 years, I taught new doctors, you guys. I was teaching new MDs how to be doctors. And I told every single doctor, every single one I worked with, do not put your patient on a medication and put them on a shelf. Don't do that to them. You have to empower your patients to take responsibility for their own issues. The medication is a tool to help rise above the symptoms long enough for you to do the work on yourself. That's the big thing there. Hello. Let thy food be thy medicine. Yes. Be mindful of what you are eating, right? That's a big one. Be mindful of what you're eating. I became a vegetarian after my awakening. Not because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, I can't read what you wrote, instrumental conductor. I don't speak Russian. But I can't, I lost my train of thought. Dang it. I became a vegetarian after my awakening. Don't get me wrong, I do love animals, but that's not why. I just started to notice that I felt better when I did not eat meat. Has nothing to do with anything else other than how I felt when I ate it. And then I had someone say to me, so I don't know if you guys know who Saint Finnegan is. He's a beautiful singer. He's light language. He's beautiful. He's so intelligent and so gifted and so inspiring. And my business partner actually knows him personally, and I got to talk to him a couple times. And one of the things he said to me was, well, if you're putting nothing but dead food in your body, how would you think it would make you feel? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people do Atkins and stuff. I can't, for me, that doesn't work. But I want to be very clear in saying you have to find what works for you, right? For some people, it doesn't bother them to eat meat, and that's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to do what feels good for you, but be mindful of what you're eating. If you're eating nothing but junk, and then you want to know why you don't feel good, then there you go. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to what you put in your body. What you consume matters, and not just what you consume with your mouth. What you consume with your eyes and your ears also matters. Are you inundating yourself with news of disasters around the world that you can literally do nothing about? How would that ever help you? I understand the idea of wanting to be informed about what's going on in the world, but if you are focused on stuff that you can do nothing about, it will only serve to feed your anxiety, I promise. That is something that I learned in psychology. You cannot focus on stuff that is beyond your control because it will only serve to make you feel less control, right? Clean eating. Yes, clean eating absolutely helps. An amateur astronomer. That's wonderful. I am so obsessed with space. What can I take in place of levothyroxine for Hashimoto's? I am not one to give you that advice. I will never give you medical advice, but I would encourage you to talk to your doctor. There is something called armor thyroid. Is a naturally occurring thing. It's a pig thyroid, but it does not work for everyone. So talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor and see. You know, I take thyroid medication. I had thyroid cancer. I have a scar. I know it's hard to see, but I have a scar right here. I had my thyroid taken out. I have to take thyroid replacement or I will die. So it's just something I have to do. That's a different story than taking it without working on stuff, right? The cancer is gone, but I have to replace that hormone in my body. Food is energy, and you feed on all kinds of energy: sight, sound, touch, physical, all of those things. Yes. There is a difference in eating meat. Many tribes in the West consider when eating buffalo, bison, you take on the energy of the animal. So I ate a cow. Right. What is the picture from the sun? Lots of stains. I'm not sure what you mean by that. What is the picture of the sun? Lots of stains. I'm not sure what that means. Listen, here's something I want you guys to understand. As someone who taught doctors and was a nurse for 25 years, I want to remind you that your doctor works for you. You are the boss. If you have a doctor who does not listen to you, who will not take into account your wants, your needs, and your desires, and you're wanting to be part of your healthcare plan, you need to fire them and find someone else. Your doctor works for you. You should be active in your own healthcare. You should know the medicines you're on, why you're on them, how long you need to be on them, what the dosage is, and how it affects your body. It is vital for you to understand that stuff. That is part of taking back control. When a doctor gives you medication, hopefully they're giving you the medication in an effort to help you, but you need to and should always ask for clarity. Why am I taking this? What is the goal with this? How can this affect my body? What do I do if I'm having adverse reactions? Is there an alternative? This is you empowering yourself. Take control of your care. You are a vital ingredient. You are the ingredient. Your doctor should be listening to you. And if you find a doctor who does not listen to you, please fire them and find a different doctor. I advise people always feel, they ask me, well, what do you think about new doctors, like newly graduated doctors? They don't have a lot of experience. It's very scary. Let me tell you something. The new doctors are the ones with the latest technology and the latest information. They have just finished studying all this stuff. Why wouldn't you want that person to be your doctor? Them not having experience with thousands of patients works to your advantage because they are not in their head about they know what's best. I always encourage people, if you have the opportunity to get with a doctor who's new from school and just getting into their practice, please do it. They are the most up to date on absolutely everything. What are my thoughts on med beds? That's a great question. So I know very, very little about med beds. I only know the spiritual aspect of them. I would love to see one. I'd love to see how it works. I am a big, big believer in doing your research, okay? Do your research. Go to academic websites and look things up. .org, not .com and not Wikipedia, not Dr. Google. You want to do your research. Academic libraries, college libraries, especially local community college libraries, are open to you. You have access to all of these studies, all of this material. Please keep in mind that when you are reading a study, it was sponsored by someone. So if it's not a double-blind study, throw it out. It's got to be a double-blind study, which means the participants don't know what they're getting and the doctors don't know what they're giving. That's the only way to get complete, excellent or non-biased results. Remember, all studies are sponsored by someone, and if it is not a double-blind study, there's the potential for contamination because they have a motivation behind the study, okay? I would love to use an EE system. These sessions reviews are great. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I'm open to it, man. I believe vibration heals a lot. I really do. I know that when I'm having a bad day, if I put on some light language music, it instantly lifts my spirits, like instantly. I always feel better, but it's because the vibration is going through my body. Dude, that bird is back from this morning right here on my windowsill. It's a big old fat one too. She's gonna have a baby. She's so beautiful. She's right outside my window. I'm so sorry to get distracted. I believe in signs. This bird has been by my window all day. I think she's building a nest right on the windowsill here. She's got a beautiful long blue neck. I don't even know what kind of bird that is. Oh my gosh, I love these words. I love signs. I love signs. Love them. What other questions can I answer for you? Yes, a heart distraction. Yes, 432 hertz. Yes, 432 hertz. The older docs tend not to further their education and stay current. So I have found, Chrissy, that to be true as well. When I had cancer, so to back up a little bit, my awakening, let me see how to phrase this. My awakening really happened because of a misdiagnosis that I figured out. I had a doctor who was very much in the authoritative state. When COVID happened, I went home because I couldn't teach at the university, and I started to research this disease I had been told I had called APS. This is a highly dangerous disease. It will kill you if you don't monitor it, and I was taking very caustic medication every single day, and I was feeling worse and worse and worse. When I got sent home from work because of COVID, I had nothing else to do. So I went into the library and I started researching this disease, and I found all kinds of material that led me to believe I had been misdiagnosed. I literally printed all this material, highlighted, circled, did all the stuff, took it to my specialist and said, here, I think I've been misdiagnosed. Can we redo this? And he legitimately took those papers, dropped them in the trash, and looked me in the face and said, I am the expert. You listen to me or you're going to die. I'm sorry. ¿Cómo se va? No. I looked at him and I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be doing that. And I walked out of his office. I signed a release. I got copies of all my records and I never went back. That is what you do when the doctor tells you that. They don't know everything. That little bit, that one reclamation of my power changed my life. Because I found out I was misdiagnosed. I got off the medication. I started to feel better, right? I got rid of the anxiety around having a disease that was that dangerous, right? All of this stuff. Oh, I love that. All right, that's very cool. I'm gonna have to check out those EE systems. Your daughter had thyroid cancer 3 years ago and doesn't take her meds. You know, I can't really comment on that. I know that when I don't take my meds, my heart does not function properly. So I take my meds. Yes, so Kimberly, I haven't tried light language music. Wonderful idea. So there's a couple I can recommend for you if you would like. She is drawn to my energy, Meta. So Joanne, I'm not going to say it's made up, okay? I'm going to say it's on the way, right? So with light language, there's a couple I can suggest to you. Saint Finnegan is one. Chantris Seba is another one. Is S-E-B-A, Chantris Seba. These are all people on YouTube and probably Apple Music. And this woman named, I'm going to say her name wrong, I think it's May-Lan. It's M-A-I-L-A-N. She's another one. All three of those are, I have found to really profoundly affect me. All right, Terry, thank you for being here. Welcome in, Avesh. So what kind of yoga do? I don't do yoga. I used to do just general yoga. There's a hot yoga place that opened right down the street from me. I'm pointing like you can see it. This hot yoga place opened right down the street from me, and I'm definitely going to go check it out. I want to get more into movement. Yoga is about flexibility, but it's about learning to control your breathing. Yoga helps you center your breath in a certain area. It teaches you to focus your breath, and it teaches you to stretch the area. There are opening exercises you can do, like sun salutation is about opening your energy, right? Child's pose is about closing down your energy. There's all these things, right? So I just finished up a lesson on the solar plexus. Yes, Maylan is so wonderful. I love her. Do you think about the origin of the sun as a star with a long life history? So yes, I do. That's a layered question. I believe the sun is a physical object that can be measured with scientific tools. It produces metaphysical properties, right? The idea behind everything here is that everything comes from source. I believe everything was created by source, and I believe everything can be used as a tool by source to reach us. That's why I believe the Schumann resonance is so important, because the energy that comes from the sun is vibrational and frequency related. We are vibrational and frequency related beings. It stands to reason logically to me that it would affect us. So yes, I do believe the sun is a star. I do believe in science. I don't want to say I don't. I believe that science and metaphysical medicine can coexist. Why not? This is an inclusive universe, not an exclusive universe. It's not about or, it's about and. It's about getting out of your head about the limitations you've placed on something. Do I believe in the Big Bang? Sure, I don't know. I don't have anything else to compare it to, but I believe that came from somewhere. Everything starts somewhere. Energy can never be created nor destroyed. So all of the energy around us came from somewhere, right? Do I work out? Michael. I work out through walking and stuff like that. Your thoughts on Yoga Nidra? It has been so helpful for me. You know what, Arme? I'm going to tell you, I don't know anything specifically about Yoga Nidra, but if it has been helpful for you, then I'm a fan. That's all I have to say about it. I'm a fan of whatever works for you. If going to a church every Sunday and hearing that lesson, and that sets your soul on fire and gives you a sense of community, I love that for you. I absolutely love that for you. I have no problem with that. Never. I want you to find what feeds your soul the most. But I want you to understand that this is an inclusive universe. This is not an or situation. This is an and situation. I want everyone to go where they feel most loved and supported in their lives. I don't care if it's a church. I don't care if it's bingo. I don't care if it's your best friend's house. I don't care where you find that, as long as you aren't hurting anyone else and it's feeding your soul. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I believe in all these things. Church, while it may not be something that I feel called to, I understand the value in church and community and having like-minded people around you. That is invaluable. To have people around you where you feel safe talking about something, man, that is such a gift. That is such a gift. And I believe that you find what works best for you and stick with it until it doesn't work anymore. The bird is back. Oh my God, she's so pretty. You know what I mean? I'm in North Carolina, USA. Oh, you were asking about location. So welcome, friend. I am in Illinois. I'm just outside of Chicago. I'm just north of Chicago. I actually live in a town called Woodstock. If you've ever seen the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray, that was filmed in this town. It was not filmed in Pennsylvania. It was filmed right here in Woodstock. And I promise you the town looks exactly the same. It has not changed in the 30 years since the movie came out. It's pretty hilarious. If you watch the movie, there's actually a point where one of the signs didn't get changed, and I think it says Woodstock Jewelers. So you can see it. You can see it. Oh, you grew up in Mundelein. Yes, my brother-in-law and his wife are teachers at Mundelein High School. Let me answer my husband real quick. Yes. My shop, I have a brick and mortar wellness center. I have a business partner, and our shop is in Schaumburg, Illinois. It's called The Conscious Chrysalis. We do energy work there. And we also sell crystals and all the stuffs. But it's mainly to promote energy work and a sense of community. In our wellness center, we have a library. 5-6 bookshelves full of books of all different persuasions, from religious teachings to metaphysical teachings, physical science to metaphysical science. They're all there. The reason I offer all of these books, uncover as much as possible, is because I want you to find what works for you. Our library is open to anyone. If you are curious about anything, you are welcome to come to our library. There is no purchase required. We will encourage you to read and take a book if you need to. Absolutely. I believe in educating yourself and following what feels best for you, understanding that what works for you may not work for someone else, and that's okay. We are all different. I want you to think of it this way. The idea is we're all one, right? But we're not all the same. There's a reason we're not all the same. Think of a puzzle. If you had all the same puzzle piece, that doesn't make a puzzle. We're all different. We're all cut differently, so we come together and make one. That's why we are so different, friends. That's why. Your differences matter. Your differences matter. I know people used to say, oh, I don't see color. That is so degrading. I see you as who you are, and I value who you are. I value the joy you bring to me. I value the perspective you offer me. Your color, your heritage, your culture, that is part of what makes you who you are. For me to say I don't see that, that's dismissive. I will never say that. I see you where you stand, and I value you as who you are and not who you think you should be, right? I want you to be who you are. I want you to listen to your heart, and I want you to stand in your power. And please don't let anybody change that for you, okay? Please don't let anybody change that for you. Yeah, there's so many trolls. Why don't I wear a ring? Oh, cool. Nature is your church. I love it. All right, so this guy's got to go. Yes, I appreciate you, Kelly. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Mika. I'm always so glad to hear you. Why is the solar plexus called the solar plexus? Does it have anything to do with the sun? I don't know where the name solar plexus comes from, to be honest with you. In Sanskrit, it's called Manipura, and it is related in Ayurvedic medicine to the fire element. So maybe. I mean, I don't know the etiology of the English translation, but Manipura is the Sanskrit, and it's related to the fire element. So very possible. Yes, we all have different frequencies, but we are all the spark of source. Yes, I'm sure my mods can absolutely do that, Yvonne. It is Chantris Siba. If Meta or Mika or Mike or somebody could write these down for me. Chantris Siba, May Lan, MEI-LAN, and Saint Finnegan. Those are the 3 that I recommend, but find whoever works for you. You know how YouTube works? You go to one, and then they'll give you suggested ones, right? That's what you want to just follow what works best for you. But I find their music to be very, very calming. Chantris Seba, especially for me, is very calming for some reason. I don't know what it is specifically about her, but her energy just washes over me. I start my day with her music. When I shower in the morning, her music is in there. Water is a conductor. So when I turn her music on, it sort of vibrates all in the space when I'm showering. And that really encases me in this beautiful vibration and starts my day off in the right way. Water is a magnifier and a conductor. Do not underestimate, right? I know people don't like baths sometimes, but if you are having a hard day, if you get in the bath and you turn on some high vibrational music and you just let yourself sit in that space, I'm telling you, you will feel those vibrations all around you. And it can be very, very, very helpful. Hey, Vanessa. Oh my gosh. It's so good to see you. Look at you guys, theta waves here. That's Vanessa. Vanessa is the one who did my past life regression. She is a QHHT hypnotherapist. She moved to Texas and she left me. But she moved to her homestead and I followed her journey and I'm so excited. Thank you, Vanessa. I just got back from Mexico yesterday. If you guys are ever looking for a past life regression, I'm going to 100% suggest finding a QHHT practitioner near you. The 3 sessions I had with Vanessa were invaluable in unlocking information for me gave me clarity on so much stuff, and it continues to unfold. I still have the recordings and I still listen to them, and they absolutely give me all kinds of clarity as I go along. Yeah, I don't know what that means. All right. You guys, we have been on here for almost an hour and a half. I try to be mindful of everyone's time. I've answered lots of questions. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here. Yvonne, go check them out. Go check them out. Meta, B, Mika, and Mike, you guys are the bomb diggities. Thank you so much for being here, okay? Yes, Dolores Cannon, QHHT. That's exactly correct. Yes. Highly recommend it. I found it to be incredibly helpful for me. I could do a whole live on what I learned about those. Some of the stuff that I figured out in those things was incredible. Here's a quick little nugget, right? When I had one of my sessions with her, my first session with her, one of the questions I wanted to know was, what is my purpose here? What am I doing here? What's my job here? And I went in there with the expectation of hearing that I'm a healer. I just knew it. I was going to hear that, right? So we go into the session. I'm under hypnosis, and it's not like you don't know what's happening. You're aware of what's going on. It's a very odd feeling. It's like right in between sleep and wake. I don't know how else to explain it. Yes, I will do that. 1 second, Michael. So she asked my higher self the question, what is her job here? What is her purpose, or whatever, however she phrased it. And I heard myself say, she is a teacher. And I was angry. Like Erin, was angry at my higher self because I said it and I was like, wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. And I wanted to like pull it back, but because I was in that state, I was just flowing and saying, and here I am teaching, just saying. Your expectations can really get in the way. So shadow work class, just a reminder, shadow work is this evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yo hablo un poquito español only, okay? 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on YouTube and on TikTok simultaneously. The first class is all about what is shadow work, what are the expectations. We will talk about the book, and we will go over the first exercise, okay? We're not going to do the exercise. I'm going to give it to you for next week. It will also be posted in the Facebook group, which is called Shadows and Light. You can find it on Facebook. First session is open to everyone. It is a general session. After that, the replays and the sessions are only going to be available to those who subscribe or on TikTok as a subscriber or on YouTube as a member. The reason I do that is to keep the class size small enough for me to give you as much attention as you need, because shadow work is freaking hard. It is hard. It is not easy, okay? Yes, your purpose here is to help and love one another. Yes, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So people ask me all the time, what's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to experience your life, to have an experience in physical life, to rediscover yourself from a different vantage point. That's why you forget everything, because if you knew who you were, you wouldn't explore anything new because you think you already know who you are, right? Yes, yes, yes. All right, you guys, I will see you this evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our very first shadow work class. I'm very, very excited. Please know the book is on lonerwolf.com, LONERWOLF.com. If you would like to download it, it is not required. I do suggest it just because it helps you keep track of things, but it is not required. The Facebook group will always have everything you need. I'm so excited too. Yay! All right, you guys, I will see you later. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my mods. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.